Hey, this is Kevin from Kevin Creates. Today I put on these step-up Nerf bars on my Tundra Double Cab, and this is the way they look installed. And then we're going to go to the other side and kind of show you how we put them on there. Because keep in mind, when I got the package, there was just a packing slip with the individual items on it and nothing else. So this is what comes with it as far as per each side. So 6 of the hex bolts, 6 regular washers, 6 lock washers, and then you get 3 of these brackets for both sides. These 2 are the same, and this one has a little bit of an angle on it, and that is the front one. So that goes towards the front of the truck. I had to figure this all out. Didn't take that much to figure it out, but there you go. All right, so packaging. It came pretty well packaged in these super long boxes, and it did have some pretty good protective coating on it. These are the aluminum ones, and it's some thick plastic they have on here with extra padding on there. So they came pretty well immaculate when I got them, and went on fairly easy. So some of the things that I had to try to figure out was where underneath here I was gonna take out what to put them on here. So this is the back of my truck. So I took these 2 out, and then I skipped this one, and then I took out these 2, and this is the fun part. So this is where that one separate angled one goes. So this has got to come out, and this does not have a bolt in it. So on my one side, it was really rusty. So I sprayed WD-40 in there to try to get some of the crud out, but it didn't really help much, because when I tried to screw in that 1 inch or 1.5 inch bolts that we have there, it was really tight, and I was really afraid that it was gonna break off. So I ended up using one of these original bolts from Toyota instead of one of those. So to get these all out, this is a 12 mil, and all the bolts that they have are all 13 mil. So tools, ratchet, 6-inch extension, and a 12 and a 13 bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off all the original bolts that are under here, and then pop on our brackets, and that is pretty easy to do. All right, so there's the old bolts, and this is on the back one that I'm doing here. There's the new bolts all set up. I got the lock washer right up against the bolt end, and then the flat washer on top of that. And then here is one of the 2 brackets that we're gonna put in. I'm gonna try to get this so you can actually see what I'm doing. I think that might show it. So it's pretty easy. This is just gonna be on the outside, and pop it up through, and you can pretty much just hand tighten these. And these bolts did come out very easy. I've just had to do a couple cranks with the ratchet, and then they came off pretty much by hand spinning them. So I am just getting these on here hand tight now. And then let me tighten them up. But I am not going to tighten them up all the way, because I want it to have a little, oh, I forgot. I gotta switch. Because I forgot that these are the 13s, and the Toyota ones are the 12s. I'm going to leave it a little bit loose, that way I have wiggle room in case I need to move anything. Alright, back one's on, middle one's on, and now the fun with the front one. Alright, so this is the one where there was no bolt in there before. So I'm going to put one of the Toyota ones in here, and because I could not get it threaded last time to save my life. So I'm going to put a Toyota one in here just to get it threaded. Actually, this is where you actually, the extension comes in handy. This is really the only spot you need it, because you can't get a full twist in there. So yeah, so this is starting to get tight, and for the love of God, I did not want to break one of these bolts off in here, because I'd be screwed. So again, I am going to use this same bolt again, because I'm having the same issue that it's not threading in there. You can see the rust that comes off this thing, but if you look at the difference between this bolt and this bolt, this one's probably a 3/4 inch, this one's probably 1.25 inches. That's just more turns that I could take, that I can just imagine it just snapping off in there and then having to drill it out. So these don't look like they are at all any kind of grade of bolt. It's not like a grade 8 or a grade 10 that I'm worried about super strength. Pretty sure they're the same exact thing. One thing that I did want to note is these are all interchangeable. I mean, obviously this one's got to go on the front, but the other ones can go either side. It doesn't matter. They're just going to be facing one way or the other, and you'll still be able to bolt it up there. So don't think that you actually have to put them on any specific side. Just the two that go in the back, and then the one that always goes in the front that has a little bend to it. So we're going to get this one on here now. And you can see where so I'm going to put the supplied bolt on here. See, it's nice that the bolt was in there originally, because then it goes in really easy. Hand tighten it pretty much almost all the way up, I'll bet. Alright, now I'm going to take the Toyota bolt and put the flat washer on it. I'm still going to put the lock washer on there, even though I can't get the other original washer that's on there. And then, hopefully, I can get this to thread again. Yep, alright, so that's threading. So I still got my 12 on there. So that's already tightened up. I just gotta tighten this a little bit more. Let go. All right, a little wiggle room still. All right, so we got our 3 on there. And remember what I did was front one, I did the next one, I skipped one, because that's kind of in between. I don't think that much support there, and then obviously the last one. So the really only thing you could do is move this one to there. But since I think most of the weight is going to be from people getting in the front seat, I decided to put it on this one. All right, so now we're going to unwrap our other Nerf bar, step-up bar, whatever you want to call it, and I'll show you how I got that on real easy. All right, so we have this unwrapped, and they actually have these bolts that are kind of in a track that slide back and forth. So what's going to happen is these are going to pop into that hole, and then this one is going to slide underneath here. So what you want to do is loosen these ones up as much as you can. These you got to take totally off, but these, just loosen them up as much as you can till they're almost off. These you got to take totally off. Leave it nearby. And then what you're going to want to do is pseudo line everything up here. That way it's easier to get it on here. Alright, yeah, this might be where I need my cameraman helper here. All right, so what I did was I tried to line up the bolts as well as I could with the holes, and we undid the bottom one so we can kind of float those in there. So what I'm going to do is kind of put this on an angle, and then what we got to do is get behind there and kind of shimmy these back and forth so then it totally slides on, and then secure one of them up behind there so then you can go and, you know, wrench the rest of them down. So we got that one. Let's see if we got that. All right, so now I'm gonna climb underneath and then see back at these other ones. So now I'm lining up the ones that are underneath, and that will allow us to actually totally push this on. All right, so that one's actually on pretty good. So I'm going to secure this one with lock washer. And luckily the channel locks the other end of that, so there, that's on. That one's through. There we go. I'm just putting on the rest of the bolts here on the back. So now you can actually, with nothing totally tightened, you can slide this a little bit along the track to see where you actually want them positioned. Now, one thing I think I should note, when this thing comes out of the package, one part is like a foot and this part is like 16 inches. So based on like looking at it and figuring it out a little bit, I did the long part up front. So now I'm just gonna tighten everything up and you should be good to go. So you can loosen things up a little bit if you wanted to slide it back and forth. I suggest opening up your door and kind of seeing where you step and see if it fits right. But other than that, bolt it on and we'll show you when it's totally complete in a second. So my actual next step is going to be that I'm going to tighten up the brackets where they come up in contact with the frame. So once I tighten those up and lock them in place, then it should be really easy to slide this back and forth because it's kind of getting caught up because everything's a little too loose. Because on the other side, I actually have that front one like 5 inches back, and on this one, it's pushed up really forward. So I'm going to slide this whole assembly back. So I'm going to tighten that up and we should be able to slide it pretty easily. All right, now that I actually got that tightened up and I unloosened one of these back ones I was holding it, I can actually slide it back and forth a good amount. So I'm gonna back this one off. It's pretty much the same spot that I have the other one. And then now I can go and tighten up the rest of the 6 bolts that are holding actually this on to the bracket, and then we'll be good to go. All right, there we have it. As far as tightness, I just did them really tight. I didn't use a torque specification, but there it is, and it's right in the good spot for flexes a little bit, but it's to be expected. It's not super duper thick aluminum, but I just like the fact that they're aluminum. I like that they pop down a little bit and weren't just running board looking. And the aluminum is good because I don't want it to rust. So for about 170 bucks, I think it's a decent investment. So there they are. Job complete. Okay, it's been about a week since I put these on. I just want to finalize this video. I got the car washed. It's winter. So here's how they look on. And I like the position of them. I like the look of them. And they're very sturdy, so I give a thumbs up, and I like the way that they actually look on my truck. I don't like the traditional all the way down. I like the little step area though. So I think they look pretty cool. So I'm very happy with them. All right, Kevin Creates out.